Dark elves roam the city streets at night, eager to teach surface dwellers to fear their might. Can the city guard save lives? Or will mighty heroes arrive to change this story? Welcome back to Fantastic Fantasy Fabrications. I'm Mike, and today we make walls. If you want to follow along with this project at home, links to the project overview will be found in the description. So first, we're going to rough out some foam blocks. Using my hot wire foam color, I'm going to make 1 inch and 2 inch tall blocks that vary from 1 to 4 inches in length. Secondly, we'll construct our jigs. Depending on whether you are cutting these by hand or using a hot wire, I provided a recommended jig in the PDF. I'm going to demo the use of these jigs quickly for you next. If you're wondering about any of the tools you see, all information is provided in the document. Any of those links that take you to Amazon is one of my affiliate links. Those items you purchase will help support this channel. If you want to have more content from me like this, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you want to be my super fan, head over to Patron and join the Fantastic Factory. That's where you'll be able to find me and other talented crafters. So I hope to see you all on the factory floor. Moving on to texturing, I'm going to add the grid to my walls so later I don't have to add them to the interior floors, but I'll still be able to tell the rough distance. Last step with the hot wire, I do this lining on the edge just because I like the look of it. Feel free to texture or paint your walls any way you want to. It is your world to make. Next, I'm going to take a knife to get rid of the edges on the side of the wall. Moving on from there, I'm going to start doing some pen work. This step is just to give myself a clear guideline to make sure I don't make any mistakes with the hot knife. After I traced out my pattern, I'm going to go over it one more time with the hot knife. This step can be a bit tedious, but I just love the way it comes out. Now that that's out of the way, I'm going to use this texture roller, but you can feel free to use an aluminum ball. I like to use this roller because it never gets dull. Finally, before we can start painting our wall segments, we need to add our connectors. For this, I like to use the Arrow T25 staples. Breaking them up by hand is admittedly not the best, but they sure do work fantastic. Okay, now we have our wall segments, and they need to be hit with the almighty Black Magicraft formula. The only thing is, I hate the base in black, so I'm going to use white instead. And now we are painting. And here's a little tip for getting more out of your airbrush. Disclaimer though, I am not the one who thought this up. I'm simply passing it on as something that I do. If you want to use craft paints in your airbrush on your terrain, cut them about 50-50 with that cheap window washer fluid for your car. I know that this sounds crazy, but you can watch the results for yourself. So I'm going to finish base coating these. I'm using the warm gray from the Master's Touch series. But now I'm going to move on to hand painting out 4 different colors. Caution! This step adds a lot of time to your build. Take and add colors depending on your level of time investment. The exact color scheme that I used here will be listed in the project overview. Now you might be thinking that it's a bit too colorful. And you're right. So let's start to tie all those colors together. First, I'll hit the whole thing with an overspray and a gray ink. And after inking all over, I'll dry brush them with the same granite gray that I used as one of my colors. Now that they are dry brushed, I'm going to add a wash. You can use your favorite here, but I really like using oil washes. If you don't know what to do, I suggest a fairly new video by Black Magicraft again. I'll link it down below. After waiting for your wash to dry, all that's left is the clear coat. But be sure to bring this outside and wear your PPE. Okay, something that you might want to do that I did, that I didn't mention in the video, is I added T25 staples to the tops of these as well as to the bottoms of only the 2 inches so that you can make terraced balconies like I have in this example here. If you're curious on where the rails came from and you want to make some yourself, go ahead and check out in the description below. That's my last video. I think that's it for this one. If you like what you saw here, hit like, follow, and subscribe. And until next time, make all your fantasy fantastic.